The quietest of trading sessions perhaps that we've had in the recent history. Today we just managed to cling on to that 18K mark and budged in around only a 50 odd point band from the highs to the lows of the day. That's how quiet it was. But we were not alone in this, given that you had a volatile overnight move by the US equity markets. After the 200 point fall in the Dow, you had a good comeback and good recovery, but closing in a smidge lower for US equity markets and a bit of a mixed bag for Asia as well, where we came into trade this morning. So it was bound to be a quiet, consolidative kind of day, and quiet it sure was. Marginally lower though for the market breadth, because it was the declines which actually overtook the advances, at least within the listed F&O segment. That said, there were a lot of stocks which were in focus. IT, of course, managed to show resilience. So you had an HCL Technologies which held out by about 4.5% nearly. This was your biggest large cap mover. Some of the mid cap IT names like a Coforge as well were pretty strong. You've got TCS, Infosys, Wipro, all of them declaring their numbers tomorrow. And most of these stocks were relative outperformers and managed to hold out in the green. That said, the clear pressure really was from the metal sector. So pick up anything from a SAIL, which was down 5.25%, a Jindal Steel, which was down 5%, JSW Steel down almost 4%, or for that matter, Tata Steel or in Hindalco, which were also down about 3 to 2% apiece. Also, some profit taking amidst the auto names as well was witnessed today, and some of the large cap plays like Bajaj Finance as well as ITC and Dr. Reddy's as well. But that said, amidst the broader market, there was a lot of heavy news flow. You got the PLI scheme, which got approved, and that put the spotlight onto some of the auto ancillary names. So Motherson Sumi, Bharat Forge, Sona Comstar, all of these stocks were under focus. There was also a bit of a comeback coming from the reopen trade plays. So a Trent as well as PVR both held out. Remember, these reopen plays have been fairly beaten down ever since the first news of the Omicron virus spread in India about 2 weeks back, and most of these stocks have really taken quite a bit of beating since. So saw a bit of a comeback on these stocks. That said, Adani Enterprises held out a solid 5.5% in trade, and AU Bank as well, which was holding up a good 5.25%. The one key story or talking point in trade today was Idea. Vodafone Idea now coming up with their repayment plan, wherein post which the government is going to be the largest shareholder in Vodafone Idea, and a stake totaling to 35.8% after converting the dues. Vodafone is going to be diluted to 28.5% stake, and the promoter group, that's the Aditya Birla Group stake, is now going to fall to 17.8%. So that really raised a lot of question marks on the company's lack of confidence to continue generating cash flows for the next foreseeable future, and that stock really took it on the chin today. A gap down open, and that it got sold into further, closing in finally in excess of 21% of a cut on that particular stock price. That said, the strong SIP traction also put focus and limelight on the likes of an HDFC AMC, or for that matter NAM India as well. These were a couple of stocks which were in focus. And Paytm, interestingly, even though it's gotten clobbered and lost about almost 40% since its listing, that in its Q3 update posted a growth in its GMV as well as loan disbursements, which they indicated continue strong going forward as well. So that was another stock which was in focus today. But come tomorrow, it's going to be all about IT. You have TCS, Infosys and Wipro all declaring their numbers, like I said. So that really is going to be the key focus tomorrow.